State alum Chris Carson. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
Tackle made by Kevin Byard.
Line of scrimmage, the 28 now as they come up on second and a couple.
At the 28-yard line.
They run it with Carson, and he'll get it up to the 33-yard line.
On the carry.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. Out of the gun, here's Wilson. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. He's got it at the 15. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. DK Metcalf, 67 yards. And the Seahawks have taken a first quarter lead. And his kick is no good. An inauspicious start here kicking-wise as this one stays a 6-0 game. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off. Taken about 7 yards deep. And he returns this to the 22.
On the return. The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 22-yard line.
Tannehill and the Titans come up now 1st and 10 at their own 22. Now a first carry for Derrick Henry. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Brings up 2nd and 11.
After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. Tannehill going to turn and give this to Henry. And he'll get about 3 as he takes this up near the 25.
The ball carrier.
On a 2nd and long, it's really nice to see an offense that has enough confidence to run the football in that situation. I think that goes back to their practice and game planning. They've seen things that they've seen on tape and in previous games that led them to believe that even in a long-distance situation, they can still run the football and gain enough yardage to put themselves in a good spot on 3rd down.
That 3rd down conversion good for 23.
The goal for any offense versus his own defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. He pushes through a would-be tackler to get about 3 yards, 2nd down.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run. But for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
And he's going to go down. Back near midfield at the 49. Defense went 3-4. They got some push from the inside.
And this is something in a 3-4 you don't normally get because the nose tackle who got the sack, he's usually responsible or ends up getting double-teamed and sometimes triple-teamed. How about him working his way back and putting the big guy on the ground?
Flush to his right. He gets it to Brown. Complete. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks 26.
We talk about mobility on quarterbacks all the time. Here's where it really pays off. Able to move, evade, and is accurate throwing on the run and picking up a first down.
On first down, it's Tannehill. Going for it all. Oh, and a bad throw there. It's intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it, and he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. What a start defensively. Your offense goes out, gets the touchdown, and then you get the interception. Just perfect.
How about the discipline that they showed on defense? Because after the offense scored to go up 7-0, you would think they might be a little extra aggressive trying to get back at them. Instead, they read their keys well. When they took the shot downfield, they were more than prepared for that one.
And he's dropped just shy of the 25 at the 24. A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick first down. When he runs, he seems to do a nice job of knowing when to be patient and find the hole, and then when the hole is there, he goes quickly.
You're exactly right. He knows how to just take off, but you know what else? Brings a little thump with him, doesn't he?
He does.
He packs the boom at the end of the run and finishes it going forward. That's what you want to see out of your backs.
And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a gain of 12, first down Seahawks. Consecutive plays now where that offensive line has really created a lot of space.
And we've seen the confidence rise, haven't we? It borders on arrogance now, and that's that good arrogance, believing you can run the football whenever you get good and ready.
That's a jet sweep into the hands of Metcalf. Rashad Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively.
Give credit to the defense for stringing that play out, and they gave up no cutback angle. You know he was trying to dart through. No place for him to go. A nice job there, only giving up a 3-yard gain.
Now with the play clock down to 2, we're going to get a timeout here. And that's their second charge timeout here in this first quarter. They're down to 1 remaining. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. This is caught. It's Greg Olsen. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. It'll be a gain of 15 on the play, and it'll give him a fresh set of downs. 6-0 our score after 1. They'll run on first down. It's Carson. Just what you want on a first down run. Call it 8 yards, and it's 2nd and 2.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
On 2nd down, it's Carson. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. Could have been a costly mistake, but as it turns out, they keep possession.
You can't give away these types of opportunities in the red zone. And I'm sure that was flashing through his brain as the ball escaped his hands. Fortunately for him, able to get picked up by his team, fumbled, recovered. They still have an opportunity deep in the red zone.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And from the 9, they get this to the 5-yard line.
To Chris Carson.
They're mounting a nice drive here. Good chunk of yardage there again. O-line, they've been solid this drive.
They have that look about them right now that says, if you do anything but run the ball behind us, you're crazy. They have really moved it well on this drive, and they want to finish it off the same way.
And he gets him a little bit closer. He takes it from the 6 inside the 5 to the 4.
His path became similar to almost running a stretch play, didn't it? Trying to find a crease, anywhere to put his foot in the ground and cut back. It just never materialized.
On 3rd down, Carson. And this one will wind up with him losing yardage. Back to the 4-yard line. That'll make it 4th down after a loss of 1.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through. But that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
A good drive gets them inside the 5, but they could not punch it in.
And credit the defense, too. Make sure that that happens, because that was the old bend but don't break approach. Made sure they contained them when they absolutely had to and forced the field goal attempt that went through.
And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
At their own 19-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once the
pressure comes, he's taken down by the Seahawk defense. The sack there by Rasheem Green. Well, they go play fake. The problem is nobody was faked out.
And when no one's faked out, what's the end result? Quarterback gets hit.
Throwing on second and long. Tannehill. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down.
Normally you think the tight end's going to be able to catch the football and handle that contact, but in this case, maybe a little too much target to hit. That one was timed well, incomplete.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Here's Brett Kern now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone.
Brett Kern in.
A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Now he's Lockett. Nice work on the return as he gets about 15 yards back. And it'll be Seahawk football, 1st and 10. Coming to the line here to begin their next drive, the Seahawks offense. Their drive last time, it stalled out. They were forced to take the short field goal.
And the key phrase, you nailed it, forced to, because you know coaches look at these short field goals as a last resort, right? To them, that's not how drives are supposed to end. You're supposed to put 6 on the board. That's a consolation prize. Like going to the county fair, you don't get the big stuffed animal on that one, do you?
No, you don't go top shelf. That's bottom shelf material. The tackle was by the Boston College product, Harold Landry.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And his throw here's incomplete. It was Kenny Vaccaro there to get a hand on that one.
Quarterbacks work all the time on manipulating the defense with their eyes and their head movement. In this case, he just stared the receiver down. That allowed for excellent coverage, able to knock that one away.
So after the second down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. And with very little time left on the play clock, Pete Carroll's going to call timeout, as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. From the gun, it's Wilson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
Normally being a big-bodied receiver plays to their advantage downfield. Go up and make the catch, take the hit, and pick up yardage. But in this case, the hit was timed really well and popped it free from his grasp.
Humphreys now to return. 7 yards on the return after a punt of 39. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And things haven't started so well for this side. 2 drives, 2 punts.
So now you've got to start looking not just at play calling, but which guy's going to step forward and say, okay, let's get this thing done. Because within that unit of 11, sometimes one guy can make a big-time play and break through the barrier.
At the 18-yard line.
Tannehill with a play fake to Henry. He'll throw instead. It's caught. Humphreys. And they'll bring him down at the 27-yard line. The Titans going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half.
27-yard line.
Must
first down. Tannehill. Flushed out right. Now he'll pull it down. And now he lost the football. Tannehill loses it. And the Seahawks have picked it up. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. A disappointing end of the sequence there. He was starting to turn nothing into something, and then he lost the football.
And sometimes things get lost in the transition. And what I mean by that is you go from being a passer to a runner. And at a certain point, once you cross the line of scrimmage, you're strictly a runner now. There's no more downfield threat. Make sure you take care of the football while you're traversing downfield.
Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And he is in for the Seattle touchdown. Russell Wilson with 2 first-half touchdown passes. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
That score that they just gave up there, that's a tough one for their defense to swallow because they've had a tough time through the first 2 quarters. They really were determined to get a stop there, unable to do so. That makes their comeback hopes that much more difficult.
So not much time to speak of remaining in this first half as the kick's away. And this carries into the end zone. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20.
At their own 20-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. You've got less than 30 seconds left here in the half. You're well on your own side of the field. What are we doing here, Coach Davis?
Well, I'm trying something on first down. And it's something that's safe. It's something that's been done many times before. A lot of people say it's not even worth trying, but I'm running a draw. I'm running a screen. I'm seeing if something pops. And if it does, that can alter my strategy and potentially get me some points. And if it doesn't work, well, then you just run the clock out and go to the locker room.
Got a man. It's Brown. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. That's it for the first half. 2 more quarters to go. We'll have plenty more to see after the break. All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Titans going to get the ball to start the second half, and they trail here as we get back to it on EA Sports. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line.
Titans take over first and 10 at their own 23-yard line.
The Titans offense set to begin the drive. They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they feel like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out. From the 50, it's Tannehill. He gives it to Humphreys. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He was covered by
this offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third down. The open man is Smith. And he will have the first down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
Tennessee Titan.
Move the chains, a gain of 7 on third down. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. First and 10. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Jaron Reed muscles his way in for the sack.
A big loss.
After the sack, they're staring at a challenge basically from the other side of town. It's 2nd and a country mile. And now the Seahawks are going to take a timeout here on defense. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this third quarter. And this one complete to Smith.
Tannehill's pass.
It'll be a pickup of 15 as that'll lead to third down.
It's a gain of 15 yards and leads to third down.
Throwing on third down, Tannehill. And that's caught by Smith. And that'll wind up moving the chains again as the tackle's going to be made at the Seahawks' 13-yard line. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down. From the 13 now, they work on 1st and 10. Throwing on first down, but this one winds up to be incomplete.
Not only did he have a chance to scan the field there, it felt like he had a chance to scan it twice. The protection was that good. Unfortunately for him, the coverage downfield, equally good.
2nd and 10 coming up here in Nashville. Third quarter action. Again, Tannehill. And this is going to be intercepted. Trey Flowers picks it. And the return just out across the 15 to the 16-yard line. So it was a drive that had real promise here to begin the third quarter, but ultimately derailed by the INT.
And that was the position you wanted to be in. Coming out to start this third quarter, get a nice drive going, looking for the end zone. Possibly got a little bit too greedy right there.
So the ball down to the 16 here for 1st and 10. They'll start out on the ground with Carson. They find some open field here. And all the way down to the 35. A big play that time for the Seahawks. 49 yards.
And the Seahawks first down.
So that changes things a bit. Here's a 1st and 10 all the way down at the 35. This is Carson. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
Well, that was one of the few times they've been able to contain him thus far. He's over 100 yards for the game, but he lost a bit off his total on that carry.
2nd and 11 now. Now it's Carson, and he won't get much. Maybe a couple. Down inside the 35 to the 34.
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
On third down, Wilson. He'll get the first down and more inside the 20. And he's going to have another first down as the tackle's made at the Titans 19. That his first catch so far. They've held him under wraps, but he's got a first down there. So here's a 1st and 10 now down inside the 20. On first down, it's Carson. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere.
He was brought down by
Jonathan Joseph there for the tackle. That time they're able to bottle him up, but he's having a really nice game.
I agree with that. Let's just go big picture, right? Every back that's in the Hall of Fame had carries where they didn't gain yardage or they lost yardage, but you stick with them, don't you? When they're having a good game, keep feeding them.
They run again with Carson. And just a couple yards there down to the 17.
Again, the ball carrier.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
The Seahawks on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. From the shotgun, Wilson. And intercepted. Maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the USC man, Adoree Jackson. And a terrific return as he brings this one all the way back to the 30. I tell you what, credit is due there on them preventing the touchdown after that interception.
How about him chasing him down and not giving up the pick six? Because what happens a lot of the time is when you see the interception, you just kind of hang your head a little bit and you momentarily pause because you're frustrated. He shook that off and gave great chase and got it done.
Still a great return and very good field position. So 1st and 10 now from the 30.
56 to Mike. 56 is the Mike. Let's go. Let's get this ball back for the offense. Let's go.
After the interception, here's Tannehill. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Picked off at the 15. Well, down 2 scores in the 4th quarter. It maybe wasn't quite desperation time, but it was getting close. And that interception there on the deep ball, that probably slams the door on their chances.
And maybe that was the thought process, that it wasn't quite desperation time. So now you take the shot before they're going to lay back any farther on defense. Go ahead and throw it downfield. Unfortunately, it didn't work.
They'll begin the drive with Carson. And he's able to get this one down to the 40-yard line. Give him 13 yards on the opening play of the drive and also give him a 1st down.
A gain of 13 yards. 1st down, Seattle.
Here's Carson. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old-school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters. No reason to lighten up now. On 2nd down now. It's Carson, and he'll go down at the 28. 4 yards the pickup, 1st down.
Well, I don't think there's any question, Brandon, at this stage, the stop troops, the defensive guys, they've got to use their 3 timeouts here. They've got to stop them and get the ball back.
Yeah, if you're in that 2 to 3 score deficit window that they're in now, you got to get it ASAP.
Yeah, no doubt about it. Stop them, use your timeouts. Easier to move the ball on offense without timeouts than to stop them on defense without using them.
And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. It's a gain of an even 20. 1st down, Seattle. A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he will maneuver his way down to about the 7. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd. Right now, backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in, and all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. 2nd, 3rd guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. And he will score. Touchdown, Seattle. Taking it in from 7 yards away. And the Seahawks are able to stretch that lead out a bit further. And certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully.
The Titans take over 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Titans in possession of the football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. Good work to pick up 7 yards there. That gets him into a 3rd and 1 situation.
3rd and 1.
Tannehill. They've got it well across midfield, down to the 40 before it's all said and done. But forget the run on 3rd and 1. They shock the D and rip off a pretty big play. A first down carry for Henry. And give him 6 yards here as he stopped near the 35 at the 34.
Shaquille Griffin on the
The last run got 6. Now 2nd and 4.
Brings up second.
Again, it's Henry. And he works it to the 30-yard line here, right at the 30.
So many teams want to throw the ball in this situation nowadays, but I love watching a team that has enough confidence to go ahead and run the football. In that situation, that's almost a tendency breaker.
Complete. It's Henry. And they'll get this one to about the 20-yard line. That's a first down pickup for Tennessee on a gain of 10.
First and 10 at the 20-yard line.
From the red zone now, Tannehill. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Incomplete.
The linebacker, Bobby Wagner, able to get back in coverage and knock it free. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. Now, one final throw here is incomplete, and that is how this one will